everybody. Why is everyone using this camera? In 2024, there is one camera that I have seen like rise up like no other camera that I've ever, this one right here, the Insta360 X4. If you go on Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, TikTok, this thing is everywhere. And I've been saying for years that 360 cameras are the future of action cameras and maybe just of cameras in general. Today I'm gonna go ride my skateboard around Oceanside with the Insta360 X4, have some fun, make some kids really happy, and then we'll go back to the office. We'll talk about why I think this camera is having such a moment and what's to come in 2025. We'll also kind of talk through like how I've been using it and some tips and tricks, maybe even some accessories that I've been using that I don't think I've mentioned here on the channel. But first, hang on. First, let's go skateboard around Oceanside. Yeah, Merry Christmas. That was a ton of fun. I posted it on my Instagram last week, just before Christmas. Hopefully you saw it. If you're not following me on Instagram, go take care of that. But today we are talking about this camera. Why is it everywhere? And is this the camera of 2024? And I would say yes, but I did reach out to Insta360 to sponsor today's video. And because they're sponsoring today's video, I feel like I can't say it's the camera of 2024, even though obviously I think that, which is why I reached out to them in the first place. But instead today, let's just talk about why this camera is everywhere. Why is this camera all over Instagram Reels, all over TikTok, all over YouTube Shorts, and what I think is the future of action cameras. Like, where do I think action cameras are going in 2025 and beyond? Kind of perfect timing with today's video. A few days ago, Insta360 released their best of 2024 video. And if you watch that video, like from a creator's perspective, from a videographer or photographer's perspective, watch that video, even just a viewer, like a normal person, watch that video and tell me how many of those shots would not have been possible without a 360 camera. Which brings me to my first point, and it is that 360 cameras get you a perspective and capture shots that you otherwise would not have been able to capture with traditional action cameras. And that alone is, I think, a major reason why we're now seeing this camera just pop up everywhere, is that like that shot, that especially the pole shot, maybe you're snowboarding or you're wakeboarding, you're doing something like that, like a board sport, that even just the shot like with the Grinch costume on, that shot of me, you cannot get with a traditional action camera. There's always gonna be like this big black, like this, wait, like that's the shot that you get with a traditional action camera, and you really have to focus on the shot. You have to frame the shot while you're filming the shot. Like, have you seen that shot where like a diver jumps off a diving board or off like a cliff and they're flipping into, and then somebody takes a just like this is exactly how they have it, X4 with a pole, and they just go whoop, and they throw it so that the diver and the camera fall together, and the camera's spinning, it's going crazy, right? Traditional action camera would never get the shot. But with this thing, even spinning like crazy, it can lock on to this one direction and get the shot of the diver. Again, a shot that you otherwise could not have gotten unless you had a 360 camera. But 360 cameras have been out for years now. Like, I think I got my first 360 camera in 2020. So why now has the X4 popped off? And the reason is quality. See, before the X4, 360 cameras, they topped out at 5.7K, but 5.7K was the entire 360 world that it was filming in. So even though you got a really cool shot, the quality between 360 cameras and traditional action, like the gap between the two was pretty big. But with this guy, we now have 8K coming out of this thing. So now that whole globe is 8K, you're reframing into 2.7K, and we have a 5nm chip in here that is giving us dynamic range that like it rivals traditional action cameras, and the gap in quality between the two now, it's so close that even though, yes, I still think traditional action cameras look better, like they look more cinematic, but that 5nm AI chip is now giving us dynamic range and quality out of this thing that with the utility that 360 cameras give us. Before, the gap was so big in quality that like the utility made up for a lot, but a lot of people were still like, if I'm gonna go film something, I'm still gonna bring my traditional action camera unless I absolutely need my 360 camera. And now the quality gap is so close that the utility gap, for me, the utility gap makes this this is the main action camera that I reach for. When we went to Dubai back in November, December, when did we go to Dubai? November, it was my birthday. I was in Dubai on my birthday with Morgan. No kids, me and Morgan in the deserts of Dubai with the entire Insta360 Legends Week crew. It was wild. We were dune buggying and sandboarding and riding camels in the desert and jet skiing and jet carring. If you watch the best of 2024 Insta360 video, you'll see like a half a second of Morgan and I in a jet car. We ice skated, we snowboard. We did so many things in Dubai, and I filmed everything with this camera. And Morgan is the one that filmed most of that footage, which brings me to my next point, ease of use. Morgan is by no means a videographer. She's a wonderful model and she can take some very nice photos, but a beginner in most senses for videography. She shot almost all of the Dubai footage. She was hanging on the back of a jet ski, holding onto this thing. She was in the dune buggy. She's the one that was filming everything. The ease of use of just being able to tell her like, hey, waist level, stick it out to the side, stick it behind us, stick it in front of us on the jet ski, like get a shot out here, get it. She could just hold the camera in different spots. She doesn't have to think about framing. She doesn't have to think about holding the camera level while we're ripping through the waves on a jet ski. Oh, she did fall off the jet ski at one point. She fell off the jet ski and she still held onto the camera. Good job, babe. And it's why I think more and more people are grabbing this camera. And the last thing is ease of reframing. So that reframing process, it used to be, we'll say, tedious. And now with things like Deep Track and AI editing, the reframing process is incredibly simple. With Deep Track's probably how I do 95% of my reframing. I'm gonna pull that file into either the Insta360 Studio software on my computer or on my phone. I'm gonna click Deep Track and green dots are going to appear on anything that it thinks, hey, you may wanna track that. I click on that green dot and I walk away. The software walks through the entire clip and reframes it for me, keeping that dot, whatever I was tracking, that person or car or jet, whatever you want to track, keeps it right in the middle. And then I can take that same clip, say 9:16 for Instagram, export it, say 16:9 for YouTube, export it, and I'm done. In Dubai, we filmed all day long, did all these crazy adventures, got back to the hotel super late at night, and I was able to pull the footage in, click Deep Track on all my clips, chop them up into Instagram recap reels by the following morning because of Deep Track and AI editing. So getting shots that you otherwise would not have gotten, quality that is now nipping at the heels of traditional action cameras, the ease of filming with this thing, the ease of reframing this footage. And I think all of these factors have come together in 2024 that it would be hard to, again, I won't be the one to claim it, but it would be hard to argue that the Insta360 X4 has not been the camera of 2024. As always though, I wanna hear what you think. Is this the best camera of 2024? And are there any other reasons why you think that suddenly this camera is just everywhere? Like 360, that 360 shot where you're filming like this and there is no pole in the shot, it's kind of become the new normal. And I'm excited to see where this goes. You guys have an awesome new year. Thank you for watching all this year. Lots more to come next year, 2025. I got big plans, guys. Follow me on Instagram because a lot of those plans are going to be over there. Happy New Year.